Hey guys, Mike with A&M here. Today we're going to do another story, and I just want to warn you before we get into this video, this story is very, very disturbing, and it's actually affected my personal life. It was a job we did involving animals and animal cruelty. So if any of that stuff will make your stomach hurt, I would advise not watching this video. But if you do want to hear it, I believe these animal stories should be told. Here we go. Here is the story. So we actually did an estimate for this lady. We looked at her whole house. It was her mom who died, and it was a hoarding situation. She said, I don't want any of this stuff. Me and my family already went through it. I just want everything to be trashed and thrown away. So we said, okay, that's fine. So we looked all through the house, and then they had a garage in the back, and then above the garage, they had like a little apartment up there. We couldn't get into the apartment at the time. It was actually locked, but I said, based on the outside of how big that area is, I'll give you a price for that too. So we get inside the house and we start cleaning, and we took about 150 cubic yards of trash out of this house. And then we're done with everything, and I actually did a yard cleanup for them as well. And then the only thing left is the apartment. Well, what we didn't realize at the time is the apartment was absolutely disgusting. So they had somebody cut the bolts, and when I went in there, I was just mind blown. There was so much cat poop and cat food and just like everything. As soon as you walk in, you can't even I didn't even walk in because I didn't want to get my shoes completely covered. As soon as I opened the door, just the smell alone was enough to knock you back. I was like, oh, what are we getting ourselves into? Not gonna cuss in this video, but I said a lot of cuss words. I actually took a shovel and shoveled like a pathway to try to look through to give this lady an estimate. I went to open the one door, and it wouldn't really open, but I could see that there was just cat feces everywhere. I was like, oh, this is absolutely disgusting. First thing I did was get out of there, and then I called the lady and I gave her basically my I don't want to do this job price. I said, when I gave you that original price, I had no idea what I was getting myself into, and once I got in there, it's absolutely disgusting. She's like, yeah, I know it was absolutely disgusting. My mom used to keep cats up there and feed them and all this stuff. I didn't want to say well, your mom probably was not taking care of these cats, but it was pretty obvious. She was just letting these cats just crap all over each other or whatever. I don't know what was going on. So we give her the price. She said, it's got to get done. And so I buy some hazmat painting suits. They're not really even hazmat suits, and some face mask, and tell my wife this might be the most disgusting stuff we ever have to do. And the smell was so bad, I was actually pouring vinegar just to mask the smell. So now I can't even smell vinegar without just barfing at this point, just because it was a mix of vinegar and crap. So if there's anything that mask smells better than that, don't be afraid to leave a comment, because I would love to hear it. But so yeah, we know now that there was 15 cats that used to live up there. Once we get into the job, because I was just peeking in the doors and I just saw there was a bunch of crap and whatever. But once we get in there, we were literally shocked. We found mummified cat bodies that still had their fur and everything attached to them. And that's why I said trigger warning earlier. They were just literally dead on top of their own. That is not a way any animal should live or die. And it was a foot of cat feces. We thought it was just a thin layer. I mean, it was a foot. We start cleaning up, and I barfed, I don't know, 10, 15 times throughout the whole process. But I'm okay, I just got to get this done. And I wanted to call some kind of animal shelter or somebody who could get in there and be somebody needs to have charges pressed against them. But it was actually the lady who died, so there wasn't really anything I could do. So I do have some pictures that I'm going to be showing you, or I may have already showed you, of just the nastiness of this job. And actually at the time, I could have taken pictures of the animals, the dead cats, mummified bodies, but I just felt that was it was just so emotional. I was I do not want to take a picture of these cats. They've been through enough. And I just thought that would be the most disturbing image. It's already in my head, so I didn't know that I was gonna ever do a video on it one day either. But you guys just be happy that you don't know what those images look like because YouTube would probably just take it down anyways. It was literally god awful, disgusting. Anything you can think of times 10 or 100. It was terrible. So I find the first, and I was shocked to even find the first one. I was like, I was like telling my wife, I was like, Autumn, there is literally a dead mummified cat on top of this pile of cat feces. And we both puked. And then we keep going, and now there's another one. There's one behind the TV, there's one behind the couch. And the most disturbing one, well, there was two of them, there was two cats behind the door with like scratch marks on the door. So you know, at these cats' last hours, they were just trying to get out of that room. To this day, if I ever want to puke, all I have to do is think of that house. It was so nasty. I just cannot get over, like, I cannot express how disgusting this job was. And in all, we didn't find all 15 bodies. Maybe I accidentally shoveled one or two, I don't know, because I was moving quickly through there because it was so bad. But the entire house was also covered with furniture and TVs and old books, and everything you picked up would disintegrate and had cat crap on it. So we ended up actually finding 8 mummified carcasses. We disposed of those carcasses the best way we knew how to, and we ended up just cleaning out everything. But to this day, it was the most disgusting job I've ever done. And if you know anybody living like this, please report them to the authorities for those cats' sake or those dogs' sake. I know we've all seen the TV shows where they show, you know, somebody's got 200 dogs or cats or whatever. I never thought I'd experience the aftermath of one of those circumstances, but I can tell you it is not for the faint of heart. It's absolutely disgusting. To this day, me and my wife find ourselves like repulsed by stuff we never even cared about before, like even a blood scene on TV or something. It just changed our entire dynamic, and it still feels like a dream or something, really. I mean, I have some pictures like that I've been showing you guys, but I didn't want to take those pictures of those cats, like I said earlier, because they just had been through enough. I feel like their story should be told, though, and maybe it can help somebody in the future. If you have any other crazy stories like that, don't be afraid to leave a comment. And so I'm sorry this story was a little bit on the grosser side. I try to keep them light and funny, but there's nothing funny about this at all. It was absolutely disgusting. I can't get over how gross it was. And the pictures don't do it justice, but look closely in those pictures, you can see some stuff you don't want to see. If you want to hear more stories, if you want to hear more gross stories, I have plenty more gross stories, but that is the nastiest story I have come across. Nastiest job, nastiest probably thing I've ever done in my life, and made me question my whole life at the same time. So if you want to see more videos or more stories, don't be afraid to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification button. And thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.